Welcome guys to the next I Never Knew That video. So if you watched last week's video, then you will know that today's is going to be about egg tempera painting. So egg tempera painting is a fast drying medium which consists of an egg yolk which is mixed with the pigment to use as a binder on the paper. So a tempera painting will refer to the painting that is done with egg tempera. And one interesting thing about egg tempera paintings is how long lasting they are. So the first example we have of egg tempera paintings is from 100 BC, where they were used on the Fayum mummy portraits. And even though they appeared that early, we actually still use them today. So that is a testament to how long egg tempera painting has existed and been used. So egg tempera painting, even though it's still used today, it kind of started dwindling in popularity around 1500, where it's more replaced with oil paintings. And even today, oil paintings and egg tempera paintings are used, and it's also possible to buy egg tempera paintings in a tube, but that type of egg tempera is not pure. It just makes it with a little oil to preserve it longer on the shelf to give it a longer shelf life. So there have been some many well-known artists who used egg tempera. Some of those in more modern times was Andrew Wyeth, who used egg tempera to paint a very famous picture called Christina's World, which depicts a crippled girl trying to get home from a field. And also, Leonardo da Vinci used egg tempera painting to paint The Last Supper, which depicts Christ's Last Supper before he was crucified. And also, Pisanello used egg tempera to paint a princess, a portrait of a princess, which was a somewhat famous picture back a longer time ago than even before Andrew Wyeth and Leonardo da Vinci. There have actually been many paintings done with egg tempera, but we're not going to mention them all because there are just so many because it was used for such a long time. But one thing about egg tempera to know is that when the egg dries, it actually turns into a different substance. So there's no problem with like the paint rotting or something. But when it dries, it becomes fairly brittle. So you can't paint egg tempera on like a normal sheet of paper like you could with oil paints. Instead, you have to paint it on a harder surface, like a board or a special manufactured paper, which is used to paint on, and then it's very stiff, so it can't bend and break the paint. Alright, well now that I've given you a brief overview, we are actually going to interview someone who does egg tempera painting now, and she is actually my mom, and she has been egg tempera painting for a while, so let's learn some more about egg tempera painting. Alright, here's my mom, and we do have a few questions for her, and she has painted egg tempera, and she does it actually a good bit. So first off, let's see some of your pieces. I'm going to put one she completed on the screen. Yes, so tell us about that.
Okay, I did the Koo Shadler study of Wild Rose and Beauty, and she is a contemporary master of the egg tempera medium. And so I wanted to do a series of goodness, truth, and beauty, so I'm working on the truth one now.
Okay, and what was the one that they just saw?
Beauty.
Beauty. Okay. So what is traditionally used for the pigment in egg tempera? So we know the binder is the egg. What is normally used for the pigment?
Yes, okay, well paint, is a pigment, a binder, and water. And so for egg tempera, you make your own paint. You don't go buy at the store. You get your natural earth minerals or synthetic minerals. This is like a lemon ochre and it's a powder. And you use the incredible egg yolk as your binder. It's the perfect paint medium. It's like a water-based oil paint, and then you dilute it with water.
Okay, so you normally use natural pigments, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the history of egg tempera.
Okay, well, it is one of the oldest paint mediums that we have. It was, you mentioned the oldest, it dates back to Egypt times. And it was very popular in the Middle Ages.
Okay.
It's used almost exclusively for when Christianity became very popular in the iconographs. They were all done in egg tempera, and the illuminated manuscripts.
Okay.
All of that is done in egg tempera.
Okay. You can go.
And Botticelli is like the last famous egg tempera artist. You have probably all seen the Birth of Venus. That's all done in entirely egg tempera.
Okay, good. What are advantages and disadvantages between egg tempera and oil paint?
Okay, well, Now the thing about egg tempera is it dries fast.
Okay.
And oil paint dries slow. So you have more working time with oil paint. You can blend it easier, your colors, and you get more opacity with oil paint. Your blacks are more saturated and you can get more lights. So you can get more realism with oil paints and you have a lot longer working time. Egg tempera is fast drying. So you work in a lot of thin layers. But the colors and the atmosphere that you can get and the luminosity is beautiful that you cannot achieve with oil paints.
Okay. So how long does an egg tempera painting take, say, compared to an oil painting?
Well, an egg tempera painting does take patience. It takes time. You have to spend time applying these layers, allowing that layer to dry before you can add more layers. You know, it has to undergo this polymerization process. And polymerization is simply the it drying and curing in the process of those polymers entangling. Okay,
good. So you have to paint a egg tempera painting multiple layers. You can't just paint it and be done.
No, like oil paint, you can apply in thick paint, thick brush strokes. Egg tempera has to be done in relatively thin layers. Another benefit that I love about egg tempera is the line work. You can use it with a fine brush like a pencil.
Really? Okay. Yes. All right, now you're going to show us how to make egg tempera paint.
Okay, let's make some paint. So we take the incredible egg and we want to get the yolk out. Get all the white off. And just you want to pinch off the vitelline that suspends the yolk in the center of the egg. Okay. And then very gently, we want to put it on a paper towel. This is the vitelline here. And we want to gently roll it to get as much of the albumin off. Albumin is a protein that will make the paint dry and brittle. And then you want to pick it up. Then we need to poke it with something sharp. I don't know. And extract the yolk. And then we can discard the yolk sac. Okay, so now we have our binder, and egg yolk is the perfect binder for paint because it's like a water-based oil paint. Then we want to dilute it with some water in about a 1-to-1 ratio. And we can stir this up. Now we have our binder. Okay, now we're going to get some of our natural raw earth pigment, and I've already added some water to the mineral, the ochre here, to make a paste. I'm just going to get a small amount because this is a perishable paint. You only want to make enough paint for one painting session because the egg yolk does not keep. Everything has to be cleaned really well at the end of a painting session because it will smell. And now you want to mix it. This is called tempering.
And it gets the name temper from the Latin word distempere, which means to mix well. And you can see that's why it's called to mix well, because you have to mix the pigment in with the egg yolk.
Yeah, and you want to use a lot of shear force. And this is what will start mixing that egg yolk oil with the pigment will start the polymerization process of once it dries and cures, it polymerizes, and that just means those polymers entangle, and so then it becomes a different substance. That's why it doesn't smell. And you can hear that scratch on the glass mixing slab. That is a natural raw earth mineral there. Synthetic mineral will not, you won't hear that scratch. And we've made paint.
Alright, and that is how you make paint. It's a very interesting process. Thank you for being in my video. We might have you back, so let's finish it up.
You're welcome.
Alright, and that was a little bit of the history behind egg tempera and how to make it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you know, at the end of every video, we pick a topic for next week. So, let's pick our topic, and we are going to see what it is. Our next topic is the life of peasants in Europe. Man, all our last 3 topics have been in medieval times. I don't know how to think about that. This is not rigged, I promise. So, we're going to study that next week, and I'll make my video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.